All right, second grade, we're going to jump into Ivy and Bean. So the very first thing I want to remind you is our word study words. So remember this week we're talking about the vowel I. So here's the cover of our book, Ivy and Bean. And I want to talk about our poster. So remember when there's a short I, the vowel is saying its letter sound of I, like in the word pig. Listen to the sounds. P, I, G, pig. The I is short and is saying its sound of I. When our vowel is long, it says its name. It has a silent E at the end that makes the I before it say its name, like in the word dime. Listen to hear the letter name I. D, I, M, dime. Dime is 4 letters, D-I-M-E, but only 3 sounds. D, I'm, dime. And then our last pattern, our last word sort title is the pattern IR. It's 2 letters that work together to make one sound of like in the word bird. Now, IR, ER, and UR all sound the same, which is why it's tricky. So this week it's IR, like in bird. All right, so this is what I started to show you. I thought I was showing you earlier, but I was showing you our magnet page. So this is what I need your help with. These are our word study words from think to drive, and then these are our 4 challenge words in bold. So I'll do what we usually do. I'll say the word, we'll sort it, and then I'll even say the little jingle that we would normally say in school. So the first word is think. Think, think, I, think, And don't just look at the spelling, listen to the sounds. Think, The letter is I, and it says I. All right, our next word is trick, like trick or treat. Trick, trick, I, trick, Trick, The letter is I, and it says I. Our next word is hide. Like, I think I'm going to have to hide candy from the boys so I don't have to share it all. Hide, hide, I, hide, Hide, I. The letter is I, and it says I. Next word is skirt. Skirt, skirt, I, skirt, skirt, Good. The pattern is and it's spelled I-R. Next word is side. Side, side, I, side, Side, I. The letter is I, and it says I. Next word, quick. Quick, quick, I, quick, Quick, The letter is I, and it says I. The next word we talked about earlier is Bill. If it was a capital B, it would be a boy's name, usually short for William. But lowercase b could be like a dollar bill, the bill of a bird. You get a bill in the mail that you have to pay. I think that was all we talked about. I'm sure there's another one. Okay, so Bill, let's sort it. Bill, Bill, I, Bill, Oh, excuse me. Bill, The letter is I, and it says I. All right. I try not to call you this anymore. I'm getting better at it. I'm calling you second graders instead of first graders. First first I, first First The pattern is and it's spelled I-R. Our next word is shirt. Shirt, shirt, I, shirt, 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 The pattern is and it's spelled I-R. All right, our last word study word is drive. Drive, drive, I, drive-er. Drive, I. The letter is I, and it says I. All right, now we have our 4 challenge words. The first word is refill. So if you run out of something, like at the movie theater, and you want some more to drink, you ask for a refill. And fill it up again. Refill, refill, I, refill-er. Refill, The letter is I, and it says refill, ill. All right, next word, advice. If you need help or you just want someone's opinion, you might ask for their advice. Advice, advice, I, advice-er. Advice, I. Whoa! The letter is I, and it says I. The next challenge word is spider. Ugh, don't even like saying it. Spider, spider, I, spider-er. Spider, I. It has an but it's an ER at the end. It's this I right here. Spider. Spider, I, spider. The letter is I, and it says I. All right, our last one, I told the kiddos, remember yesterday, well, today, but when you hear it yesterday, we had the word skirmish, and I kept checking if it was squeamish, which means like you're really nauseous easily. It's skirmish. It was talking about a rare little battle. And it's a super challenge because, listen, skirmish. This IR would make it move to the bird, right? Skirmish, IR. But the second I in mish is short. Ish, ig, pig. So it's a super challenge. It will go in IR and short I. So I'm going to leave it up there. All right, we got a big kid word. Our big kid word is mischievous, and the more I say it, the more tongue-tied I get. So one of our characters is going to act mischievous. Mischievous. Can't even say it more than twice. Is an adjective that means to cause trouble in a playful way. So if a character is mischievous, they cause some trouble, but it might also be fun and funny, which is why I put a picture of a leprechaun. They are pretty naughty if you ask me, but they are very mischievous, just like an elf on the shelf usually is. If you hid my coffee cup, you might be acting mischievous. I could have just put a picture of Rowan and Sunny on here too, but I went with a leprechaun. So my question to you is, have you ever acted mischievous before? And if you have, what have you done? Kind of naughty, but in a fun and funny way. There's a fine line. All right. So today for our focus, we will learn more about Bean. I want you to focus on what you learn about her relationship with her sister, Nancy. So there's Bean standing on her head. At least she's reading. Remember we learned that she doesn't really like reading? All right, so we're going to chorally read the chapter called Bean Hatches a Plan, which if you look in your table of contents, starts on page 13. So get your Ivy and Bean book. Go, go, go. If you don't have it, pause me, and then press play when you're ready. All right, 13 to 19, and then a couple questions. It all began because Bean was playing a trick on her older sister. Bean's older sister was named Nancy. She was 11. Nancy thought Bean was a pain and a pest. Bean thought Nancy was a booger head. Ever since she turned 11, Nancy had been acting like she was Bean's mother. She ordered Bean around in a grown-up voice. Comb your hair. No more pretzels. Brush your teeth. Say please. Bean's mother said that Nancy was going through a stage. Bean knew what that meant. That meant Nancy was bossy. Bean also knew that nobody likes bossy kids, so she was trying to help Nancy be done with their stage. Here's how she helped. She bugged Nancy until Nancy freaked out. Bean thought that was pretty helpful. The afternoon that Bean got her great idea, she was shopping with her mom and Nancy. Actually, Bean was being dragged along by her mom and Nancy. Bean hated shopping. Nancy loved it. Nancy was trying on skirts, lots of skirts. She put on a purple skirt. She looked at her front in the mirror. Then she turned to her side. Then she turned around and tried to look at her behind. Looks good, said Bean. Let's go. Be patient just a little longer, Bean, said Bean's mother. I think it's cute, honey, she said to Nancy. Nancy looked in the mirror some more. Do you think the pockets are dumb? I like the pockets, said Bean's mom. Get it, moaned Bean. She had never been so bored in her entire life. She was so bored she fell on the floor. Then she took a tiny peek up at the lady in the dressing room next to her. Yow. Get up, Bean, said her mother, this minute. Bean got up and sat on the triangle seat again. She waited. Nancy looked at herself. I kind of like it, Nancy said, but it costs $40. That's all my money. I could get 2 shirts for $40. Don't be a tightwad, said Bean. She had just learned that word. It meant someone who didn't like to spend money. Don't call your sister a tightwad, said Bean's mom. Bean saw Nancy's eyes looking at her in the mirror. Tightwad. Bean mouthed without any sound, so she went like this. Ooh, mischievous to me. Nancy's eyes got narrow and so quick that their mother didn't see she stuck out her tongue. Then Nancy turned to her mother and said, I think the skirt costs too much, Mom. I think I'd rather try on some tops. Bean knew then that Nancy was being slow on purpose just to drive her crazy. Bean thought about kicking her in the shin. But then she got the idea. It was a great idea. It was a helpful idea, one that would teach Nancy not to be such a tightwad. And best of all, her idea would make Nancy freak out. You'll be sorry, Bean mouthed to Nancy, so she sang. Ooh, yikes. Sister drama. All right, 3 questions for you to answer with a family member, or pet, or a stuffed animal, or just to me. So, first question, what evidence can you find that Bean is acting mischievous? There's a lot. I would think she's acting more naughty than mischievous. But what do you think? There were some things that she said, how she was acting in the dressing room, how she threw herself on the floor, how she's complaining, how she peeked at the neighbor. Ugh, Bean. Number 2, what evidence can you find that Nancy is acting mischievous? So her big sister, what is she doing that's a little naughty and sneaky? And then last one, how are Bean and her sister different? We can go on and on about that. All right, make sure you answer those questions either to someone in your family or just out loud. Just make sure you answer those questions. We'll read more about Ivy and Bean tomorrow.